The guy who built Claude Code just told CNBC he hasn't written a prompt in months. Not "I prompt less," not "I use templates now." He said, and I'm barely paraphrasing, "I don't prompt Claude anymore." So what is he doing instead? And more importantly, is this something you can actually use, or is it just another term the AI hype machine is going to squeeze dry in 3 weeks? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what he's doing, what it's built from, and whether it's worth your time. You already know prompt engineering. You type, "You are a helpful customer service rep. Be nice to my customers." And the model plays that role. That's it. That's the whole trick. You're just telling the agent what to be. Then someone realized the agent had a whole context window sitting there half empty, and that it could go fill that window itself. Give it the ability to open files, hit an API, query a database, and suddenly the model isn't just answering from what you typed. It's gathering what it needs first. That's context engineering, and it's why asking ChatGPT, "What's NASA's latest discovery?" actually works. It goes and looks. But context engineering falls apart on long jobs. Ask an agent to do something that takes more than 10 minutes, and it starts running out of room. It summarizes its own context to make space, and that summarizing is lossy. Details fall out. Ask Claude Code to clone an entire website and you'll watch it choke halfway through. Not because the model is bad, but because nothing outside the model is managing the mess. That external manager is harness engineering. It's the scaffolding that breaks a huge job into a stable sequence the agent can actually survive, keeping track of what's done, what's left, and what the next chunk of work should even look like. This is also roughly where the Ralph technique comes from, a pattern named after the Simpsons character by developer Jeffrey Huntley. The idea, stripped down, is almost insultingly simple. Throw a coding agent into a plain while loop, feed it the same prompt against a written spec over and over, and let repetition plus a checklist do what one clever prompt never could. It's a crude version of harness engineering, and it works well enough that it became its own small movement, which tells you something about where this whole ladder is headed. Notice the shape here. Context engineering is a loop. Gather, check, gather again, until there's enough to answer. Harness engineering is also a loop. Task, next task, next task, until the list is empty. We've been stacking loops this whole time without naming the thing itself. That's the gap a Google engineer named Adi Osmani filled on June 7, 2026. Not with a new tool, with a name for something that had already started happening inside 2 labs at once. A few days earlier, developer Peter Steinberger had posted that people should stop hand-typing instructions into coding agents and start designing the loop that does the typing for them. Then, Boris Cherny, who runs Claude Code at Anthropic, said the line that actually broke containment. "My job is to write loops." Osmani took those 2 threads, gave them a name, and loop engineering stuck. Here's the definition, and it's simpler than it sounds. Every layer before this had a human in the seat, deciding what to ask next. You asked about cheeseburgers to the moon, you asked about NASA, you asked Claude Code to clone a site. Loop engineering removes you from that seat. You're not the one prompting anymore. You're the one who designed the system that prompts. The goal gets defined once, and the agent keeps iterating against that goal until it's done, on its own schedule, without you sitting there hitting enter. Cherny wasn't describing a vibe, he was describing his actual Tuesday. Hundreds of Claude instances running in parallel, reading GitHub issues, scanning Slack threads, watching for what needs fixing, and only surfacing the stuff that actually matters. He's not reviewing every output anymore. The loop reviews it. He designs the system once, and the system runs. So what's the system actually made of? This is the part most explainers skip past, and it's the part that matters, because just build a loop means nothing without the pieces. Osmani breaks it into 6. First, automations. This is what makes a loop instead of one thing you did once. In Claude Code, that's the /loop command, cron scheduling, or hooks that fire at specific points in the agent's lifecycle. In Codex, it's a dedicated automations tab where you pick a project, a prompt, and a cadence. Either way, the job finds itself. You don't open your laptop and remember to ask. Second, work trees. The moment you run more than one agent at a time, they start stepping on each other's files. Git work trees give each agent its own isolated checkout, so parallel work doesn't turn into a merge disaster. Third, skills. Instead of re-explaining your entire code base and your conventions every single run, you write it down once as a skill file the agent can call by name. Without this, every loop iteration starts from zero. Fourth, plugins and connectors, mostly built on MCP now. This is what lets the loop actually touch things. Open a pull request, update a ticket, query a database, post to Slack. A loop that can only read files can only suggest. A loop with connectors can act. Fifth, subagents. And this one's underrated. The agent that wrote the code is a bad judge of whether the code is right, for the same reason you're a bad editor of your own writing right after you finish it. So the loop splits the maker from the checker. One agent builds, a second one, often with different instructions or even a different model, grades it. Sixth, and Osmani calls this the one that quietly holds everything together, state. Some memory that lives outside any single conversation, a markdown file, a linear board, a database row. The model forgets everything between runs. The file doesn't. Skip this one, and your loop starts every morning with amnesia, redoing yesterday's work or missing it entirely. Say you built a site that tracks World Cup scores. Codex, or Claude Code, used prompt, context, and harness engineering to build it, fine, but the tournament runs every day, and so do the bug reports. The old way means you sit there, prompting updates by hand, forever. The loop way means you schedule a check every hour for new match data, plus a second loop that scans for user-reported bugs and fixes them in an isolated work tree so it doesn't collide with the first loop. Your skills folder tells it your conventions. A checker agent verifies the fix before it ships, and a state file remembers what's already been handled so it doesn't fix the same bug twice. That's not 5 separate favors you're asking for. That's one designed system running without you. Osmani, the person who named the whole thing, said flat out that it's early and that he's skeptical, and that token costs can swing wildly depending on how much usage headroom you're working with. That's not a footnote, that's the whole caveat. A loop that runs unattended is also a loop that makes mistakes unattended, and somebody still has to read the output and sign off on it. There's a real cost people are calling comprehension debt, where the pile of code you didn't personally write keeps growing and you understand less of your own system every week that passes. And plenty of people think the term itself is doing more marketing than describing. It showed up. It spread across every AI blog and Substack in about 72 hours. And a chunk of that is just restating what harness engineering already covered with a shinier label. That skepticism is fair. Nobody's shown a slam dunk case yet where loop engineering did something harness engineering flatly couldn't. If the agent is finding its own work, verifying its own work, and remembering its own work, the human slides further and further from the actual code. Some people are calling that verification debt, the gap between the tests passed and a person actually understands why. That gap doesn't show up on day one. It shows up 8 months in, when something breaks in a system nobody on the team can fully explain anymore, because nobody wrote most of it, and nobody reviewed most of it line by line either. This isn't marketing copy from a company trying to sell you something. This is the person who built Claude Code describing his actual day. In a completely separate lab, OpenAI, converging on nearly identical primitives without coordinating. Automations, work trees, skills, connectors, subagents, state, shipping inside both products within weeks of each other. When 2 competing teams land on the same 6 pieces independently, that's usually a sign the shape is real, even if the name is still up for debate. What it changes is where your attention goes. You stop asking, what do I type next, and start asking, what system decides that for me, and can I trust what it decides? That question is going to matter a lot more by next year than any single prompt you'll ever write.